Freestyler.
Now, get ready to scream because joining me is one of the original boy band heartthrobs, largely thanks to that signature haircut, the old curtains. Launching themselves into the world in 1998, A1 scored 2 number ones, 6 other top 10 hits, and countless kids' TV appearances, many on the shows I was presenting. They also won a Brit Award in 2001 for British Breakthrough Act, fending off fellow nominees Coldplay and Craig David. Whatever happened to them? Here to talk about those crazy 90s boy band days, it is, of course, Ben Adams from A1. Hello, Ben.
How are you?
Ben, I mean, we've got about probably 20 years to catch up on. I haven't seen you.
I know. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean, you used to come on the kids' shows that I was presenting. It felt almost weekly. Like, oh, A1 are on again. It was mad.
I think we pretty much were. I think we were in the Guinness Book of Records for being the only band to have a number one and not be in the top 50 airplay chart. So we basically built our entire career on being on TV, on shows that you presented. So I guess we have you to thank for a lot of our success.
Oh, I really can't take that credit, but it was
a busy time.
It was mad. Mad days. So crazy.
Yeah.
But obviously I touched on the hair in the intro. You started off a hair phenomenon because they were so precise and very shiny. There was a lot of sheen going on. And I'm imagining our first question in this item of the show is which object reminds you of the 90s? And I'm wondering if it might relate to this theme.
Well, you could say that. I think, one thing that was definitely firmly always in my bag or my hand was a pair of hair straighteners. And, coupled with that was the all-important rock-solid hairspray.
Yes.
Because you could literally pull up one strand of the side of my curtain and the whole thing would lift up like a flap. It was, and you know what? If we were doing an outdoor shoot, I mean, I was in a terrible mood because you can imagine the wind against that kind of hair. It's definitely not a good combination. So,
what, like Lego hair? That's crazy.
It was pretty much like Lego hair. If I could have lifted it off and put it on the side, it would have saved me a lot of time, to be honest with you, because, that was the first thing I did when I got there. Spent hours and hours making sure every single strand was exact. That was a tough time back then, as you can imagine.
Oh my God, and you can't get that time back, Ben. You've wasted hours of your life on that hair.
Well, was it wasted? I guess it was, because I never won best hair at Smash Hits. Kian from Westlife always took that crown.
Kian?
And I tell you what, Kian, yeah.
He didn't even have a hairstyle. He just had hair.
Exactly. You know what? That was what I kept saying. And I was
What?
so angry. I know, but that's just how it was.
You were
That's just how it
so
was.
robbed. I mean, you started a thing. Kian didn't start a thing. He just had blonde hair.
He just had hair.
They
Exactly.
weren't accounting for all the effort you put in. I'm actually upset for you. This is really sad.
I'm still upset, as you can probably hear in my tone of voice. It's really changed my life. No, I'm joking. Obviously, it was all a bit of fun. But yeah, it did actually take me hours, and I was quite pleased when I was allowed to cut it off.
Was there sort of a ban on you cutting it off because you were so famed for the hair?
Yeah. There was a ban on all sorts of things. The hair was one of them.
Wow.
Girlfriends weren't allowed. Girlfriends had to have baggy pants big enough to fit a whole family inside. It was a very strange period. But yeah, that's the life of being a boy band star. But yeah, no, it was a big moment, and it kind of just meant that I didn't have to bother. I had so much more time in my day. Can you imagine? I didn't know what to do with myself. I know.
Proper liberation.
I know.
Ben, let's play a song from the 90s. What would you like to hear first?
I would like to hear All That She Wants by Ace of Base. I haven't heard that tune for quite a while.
This is an amazing song. It's from the year 1992. Let's Be All That She Wants. An amazing choice. Ben, next up, we're going to talk about your favourite place from the 90s. Where would that be?
We were kind of all over the place, so there are so many interesting places. I think one of my favourite places, though, strangely, is a house that we shared in East Acton, which was paid for by the management because we obviously didn't have any money. I was 16 years old, straight out of school. And they basically rented us this house that we could all live in together, which sounded like a really excellent idea to start with. And then we suddenly realised that we just then argued about everything. It wasn't just work. It was, we would spend sort of literally 24 hours a day together. So then it started becoming, bickering about who hasn't cleaned up or who hasn't, I don't know, who's eaten someone's chocolate out of the fridge or just all these stupid things. So it was very short-lived, but I still have very fond memories of it. It wasn't even a very nice house. It was definitely not a pop star MTV crib. I think it was just a 2 up, 2 down, quite squashed thing in like a cul-de-sac estate kind of thing, but I still have fond memories.
I mean, it's mad that you literally were in each other's pockets 24/7. That's so intense.
Yeah, I think that's why most boy bands traditionally don't last very long, because you just get sick of the sight of each other. So, I mean, literally was, I think, for a period of 5 years, we were just together all the time. And we liked each other most of the time, but there were definitely some heated moments.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. That's outrageous. Well, let's play another song. What is your next 90s choice for our show, Ben?
Right. Well, I'm going to play a band that we actually, strangely enough, do quite a lot of touring with them now, because we do a lot of sort of 90s festivals and stuff. We were with these guys last weekend in Sweden, and it's the Venga Boys with Boom Boom Boom.
Oh, the Venga Boys. Right, talk to me about the Venga Boys. What are they like when you're hanging out with them?
Well, I think one of them quite liked me. He was stroking my back quite a lot. So, very friendly, I'd say. Yeah, it was lovely.
How wonderful. Well, look, let's play Boom 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 from 1998. That was Boom 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 by the Venga Boys, as chosen by Ben from A1. That song was from 1998. You couldn't escape that song in the 90s. It was blimmin' everywhere.
Yeah, it was big.
It was huge. Now, I'm going to ask you in a moment about your favourite event from the 90s. But before I do, I'd like to talk about another well-known event, Eurovision. Did you watch it this year, Ben?
I often watch Eurovision,
We've heard all sorts of very interesting rumours, and producer Katie's gone down somewhat of a rabbit hole like Sherlock Holmes, trying to put the pieces of this puzzle together, because we've heard all sorts of rumours that you were representing Norway as a member of Subwoolfer, performing the tune Give That Wolf a Banana.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would, if it was me, it would be a fairly strange thing for a guy in his 40s to dress up like a yellow wolf singing a song called Give That Wolf a Banana. So a strange career choice, and that's why it's probably not me.
Wow. I thought it just sounded quite like you.
Well, that's because it's just sung so amazingly. You instantly think, wow, it must be Ben. But yeah. That's how it
Did
was.
Sam Ryder let slip about this? Did he say something about this? That's what producer Katie told me.
I mean, I read a few things on the internet that he might have suggested that it was me, but
Right.
I think it's because of the hair. Sometimes it gets in front of his face and then he can't see properly and stuff. But yeah. So.
Interesting. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about events in the 90s, because it's all getting too tense and stressful for my liking.
Right.
Ben, tell me about an event in the 90s that floated your boat.
I'd have to say it was our first appearance on Top of the Pops.
Who else was on that week? Do you remember?
Do you know what? I don't remember, but I do remember that there was we had an incident where Prince one time.
Oh, wow.
Who made every single person, even the artists on the show, line up against the wall so he could walk through the centre, and everybody had to face the wall.
No.
So they didn't get eye contact. Even Robbie Williams. And Robbie Williams was so mad that he left these studios and refused to return. But then, of course, he was number one, so he did return. But I think we were all a little bit. Well, I don't know if I was miffed. I was just a bit like, this is kind of strange. And I was such a big Prince fan. I kind of felt like, wow, I've been told to face the wall by Prince. That's quite cool.
That is the ultimate 90s moment. That sort of thing doesn't happen anymore.
I mean, the Top of the Pops backstage was
outrageous.
Pretty strange.
Yeah, because there was the Star Bar, and not many people know about this. There was a bar where you'd all go after the show and sort of hang out with like Simon Le Bon and Janet Jackson. It was utterly bizarre.
And also the other thing that back then was that you weren't allowed to sing live
I
on
know.
TV.
How weird is that?
But I mean, we were pros at miming, so we didn't mind. We were like, no, that suits us fine.
Great.
We can just dance around.
That is great.
Loved it.
Oh my God, that Prince story is the ultimate. That is absolutely, it's classic 90s stuff, Ben. Wow, wow, wow.
I know. Well, I'm glad I could brighten your day
You
or
really
your
have.
year with that info.
And the listeners, oh my goodness, this is absolutely the creme de la creme of 90s activity.
There you go.
Ben, what's the last song you want to hear from our favourite decade?
It is Things Can Only Get Better by D Ream, and I've got a fun little fact for you.
Go on.
That D Ream actually co-wrote our first single,
No way.
Be the First to Believe, with us, which is why I picked Things Can Only Get Better. He actually wrote that one, our second single, and our third single with us, and produced them, I think. So yeah, that's a little fun fact.
We love a 90s fact on this show, especially our 90s Facebook group. They go crazy for a fact, so that one's going to be written down somewhere.
I'll have to join it and add my own.
You need to, especially the Prince story.
information.
Love, love, love. Well, look, Ben, it's been so brilliant talking to you. Thank you so much for being on the show. This is D Ream. Things Can Only Get Better.
Thanks, Fearne.
You can walk my path. You can